We're good. We're on.
All right, we are live, and the things are all posted. So it is currently 6 o'clock p.m. California time, January 28th, 2016. You're looking at ThorTV.
That's me. He's gay.
Too much, a little bit closer. Get it
I'll
closer.
try.
There you go. That's the one. Okay. I'm Loki Hates You. So let's say who we got in the room here. Hi, Kat. Hi, Karen. Hi, Haley. Hi, Helen. Hi, Candace. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Zio. Hi, Marley. Just to get this out of the way, I'm going to do a quick unenveloping because I got a beautiful package from Karen yesterday, and I accidentally thanked Marcy for it. Today, I got a package from Marcy. Let's see what I got. Sure enough, it's the exact same thing I got from Karen yesterday. So, we may end up with a copy for myself and a copy for Bennett, which I think is great. I think that's great, and I appreciate you. So thank you, Marcy, for that, and thank you, Karen, for that. I should have announced something about maybe not doubling up on that. I don't know. It's cool. We're all friends, right? Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. It's all good.
It's all good. So it's a little evening time. I think we're gonna get a little friskier on this broadcast. I got a feeling things are gonna get a little wackier.
Should I turn the lights down?
If you want to.
Oh.
So, like, we have some questions, but they are just crazy questions.
Who's sending these questions?
Well, let's see who starts it off. I think the first one is from Dead Purple. Yeah, the first 1, 2, 3, at least 5 are sent by Dead Purple.
Do these have anything to do with our homework? Are we doing our homework?
Maybe 1 or 2 of them do. Yeah, it says these don't seem like very homeworky questions. Maybe okay. The first one. So she starts out with a joke question that shouldn't even really need to be answered, but it's what famous person do you most resemble? And we may have some surprising answers for that.
Oh, crap, what's his name? There's The Edge, the wrestler.
Yeah.
And there's Tyler Mane.
Yep.
So those are probably the 2 closest that I look like. And Hugo Weaving I get a lot. That seems to be one I can't get away from.
Hugo Weaving. Okay, that's fair. I used to have kids make fun of me when my hair was short and say I looked like Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman. So that wasn't fun.
I didn't get that. We're going back to. You're going back to
this
like.
This is when my hair was like real short.
We're like high school days, or
yeah, high school. I mean, I never had my hair longer than a couple of inches. Before probably junior year of high school.
Yeah, I didn't even get long hair until what, 30, 29, 30.
It's a big difference for me though. Like I look completely different. I insist on having long hair because I don't like the way I look without it.
Yeah, I get that. You don't want to let your face do all the work.
No, I don't. Because believe it or not, there's not much going on with this face. It's all the framing. It's all hair. This is the only thing I got going for me right here.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, I look at myself and go, ugh, when I look in the mirror, but I put my hair down, like, that looks better. Look a lot better.
Yeah.
That's why I have the beard. I don't let that, there's nothing spectacular happening under here. Maybe some extra pimples or something.
Man. God damn it. some reason, my computer keeps switching the profile I'm using on YouTube, and if I try to change it,
It's not.
This may boot me off real quick. Hold on, just a second.
It's still showing Loki.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. Well, either way, no bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno. Okay. About chat. All right, so let's start with the the first real question from Dead Purple. Let's see. First real question: do you believe that honesty is the best policy?
Most of the time. Yeah. I mean, it depends on a lot of things. Like, relationship-wise, yes, honesty is always the best way to go, I think, or at least any situation I could think of. I think as a parent, there's a fine line between being honest and, you know, like, being protective. Sometimes you have to be dishonest as a parent to protect them.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Age-wise, there's a certain amount of disillusionment you want to protect your child from. You don't want a kid that's like staring down the darkest aspects of the world. You know, a kid should have a little fantasy in their life because it's kind of healthy. Whereas if you're honest with children all the time, you're gonna end up making for a very, I don't know, angry. I feel like angry, sad child.
Yeah. Yep. Santa's not real. Of course you'd bring up Santa. And that's the whole different thing too. I mean, like, it's good to have a healthy imagination and to let them, you know, roll with the thoughts and the images of having, you know, Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy and all these wacky characters. But at the same time, you're also teaching it's okay to lie.
Yeah. Kind of. Sevlo, if you want to ask a question, just ask your question here in the chat room, because if you ask it on Tumblr, we're never going to see it until next week. So, like getting back to whether or not honesty is the best policy, I feel like it is, because to be the person who decides that untruth is the way to go is to be a person who's not accepting responsibility. Like, typically, you're not going to lie unless it's something that you're accountable for. And that's unfortunate. Cassie, we're going to get to your question kind of towards the end of the broadcast. I've got it logged, but we're not going to be answering it for a little bit. So I don't know. Yeah, I try to be as truthful as possible. Now, I'll word things creatively. That's a fact. There's definitely omissions that I don't think you have to go around telling the entire truth all the time.
That could be fair.
Like, why would there's that's why we all have personal lives. It's like, that's what discretion is. It's just not going around telling everybody every little aspect of your life. Lego Puzzle, I'm going to take your question. Put that in the bank. So, I don't know. I won't feel bad about that. Okay, next question. If you had to be in a TV show you hated, but you get to choose, which would it be? You had to be on a TV show that you hated, but you had to choose which show would you be on? Now, assuming this is like an ongoing thing where I was going to be like an ongoing character, Like,
Not
there's
one
no
that
show that I
dies.
think, huh?
Not one that dies.
Like, not just like a guest on a talk show.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure I would hate being on like Sports Center as a guest because whatever, I don't give a shit about sports. But like, I would be on Agents of Shield if they were giving me a paycheck. No question about it. Like, absolutely. The people that love Agents of Shield are love agent. They just love it. They love it inexplicably. They have no reason why they love it. They just do. So me being on it does not change anything. If I was going to be on just a one-time appearance, I don't know. I feel like I'd want to be on a talk show where it's like Republicans or like evangelical Christians talking. Like I would love to be on one of those shows and just be like, "No, man, I don't know why you're being such a dick right now." You know?
I'm trying to think of a show.
What show do you turn off every time you see it?
Well, I haven't had TV in years, so I think it'd be a toss-up. The two that I can think of is like Charmed and Lost Girl.
I don't even know what either. I mean, Charmed. I kind
Charmed.
of
You have to know Charmed.
yes. Lost Girl. I don't even know what the hell that.
It's
When
like
was that?
it's kind of like Charmed. It reminds me a lot of it. It's about like this girl who's a succubus, and there's like this good side and bad side, and she's supposed to choose which side to be on, and she's decided to not choose, and she's like a rebel of the whole society
Okay.
because she won't choose a side. So I don't know. It's
I
goofy.
never liked watching Star Trek, and I feel like I could just be a character in Star Trek who's like just the worst extra in the world, where I'm like always in the background, like hitting like a bunch of screens or something, but I'm like staring directly at the camera while I do it. For minutes at a time while like Captain Picard's talking, I'm just like behind him looking at the screen.
Yeah, but I think those people that never get a line and you never know who they are, those ones are usually all the ones who die.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't even like that show anyways.
You're gonna die in the first like 20 minutes.
That's cool. I'll be
You're
a
just
red
gonna get
shirt.
shot. Yeah, you'll be a red shirt for sure. Red shirt Bill on Star Trek. There it is.
Great. God, what other shows did I hate? A lot of those like Attack of the Show kind of shows, where it's just like some girl in a tight shirt talking about like movie news stuff. Like I could imagine myself ruining that show.
You know what I hate? It's like those MTV reality shows. Jersey Shore.
Yeah,
Yeah. That'd be horrible.
that'd be nice.
That'd be horrible.
That'd be kind of cool to just go in there and just like call everyone on their bullshit. Like just constantly be the guy in the background who's like, "Y'all are stupid as hell," and just like turn the page in your magazine. That'd be pretty cool.
Yo, dumbass. Yeah. But then they're just gonna like get up in your face, and they're gonna want to fight, and
Yeah.
then you'll throw a punch, and like it'll be stopped by a force field of hair grease.
We've answered this one before, definitely. If you could select anyone in history, living or dead, to answer a question truthfully, who is the person you would choose, and what's the question you would ask them?
Don't you always choose Hitler?
No. That's if you could go back and kill anyone. The most universal answer is Hitler. I wanted to go back and ask the Virgin Mary. Like, come on.
Fess up.
That was my last answer, I think.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Who's making all that noise? Cassie wants to know who's making all that noise. It's funny because Cassie just asked a question about like anger problems, and now she's like, "Who the fuck is making all that fucking noise?" Like, someone in the kitchen like messing around right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, the microphone picks up everything, I guess. I can't even hear what my microphone picks up. It's not, you know, relaying it back to me.
You could probably set your microphone settings to play back. And again, I don't know if that's Windows. All right. Next question. Well, what's the historical person, and what's your question?
How's that? Can you hear anything now?
I liked it better before.
Yeah, but then you hear too much background noise.
I know it's not that bad. She just wants to like. She thinks you're in like a studio or something. She doesn't realize you're just in like a side room next to a kitchen.
I'm like I'm in. Yeah, that's what I'm in. I'm in a. I don't even know what this is called. Den. Like there's 3 walls. It's like part of a hallway, but just, you know, extended part of it. What's the question again?
You can ask any historical figure a question, and they have to answer truthfully. So who's the person, and what's your question?
Just one question?
Get one truthful. What is the mystery of the world that you would want to know about?
Maybe Christopher Columbus.
What would you ask him?
I don't know. But it's like you grow up going to school and believing what's written in the history books about what a great person he is and discover and stuff. It's all a lie.
Oh, well, I mean, that's been proven that Christopher Columbus is not as much of an upstanding citizen as he was made out in our elementary school plays. Like, there's no question about that.
But, yeah, I'd probably want to talk to him. I don't know. Ask him why he's such a douchebag. Then he'd be like, what's a douchebag?
Yeah.
So I got nothing. That's about the best answer I can come up with at the moment.
Christopher Columbus it is. I feel like you could really think of a couple like hard-hitting questions for L. Ron Hubbard. Someone was bringing up the guy from Mormonism. But I think if you had asked the dude, the Mormon stuff, I feel like that's an actual crazy person. Or who's the guy that shot Kennedy?
Was it the guy?
I don't know. A lot of murders that could be solved. You could ask O.J. Simpson. What was up with that? Not a second.
Didn't he confess?
O.J. Simpson?
Yeah.
No, he didn't confess anything. Okay. Number 1 question. What the hell happened to Amelia Earhart? Okay. Yeah, we don't know what happened to Amelia Earhart, but she certainly wasn't anemic. Okay. You have to... Okay. Next one is... If you had to join a circus, what act would you perform?
Something with fire. I'd probably be one of, like, I would get into doing all the fire stuff.
Fire spitter?
Fire spitting, fire whatever. Fire.
I think I'd want to be like an acrobat. I'd want to be like an acrobat, a tumbler, doing a lot of backflips, you know, stuff like that. Or the guy who puts his head in the bear's mouth, because then you get to hang around with the bear a lot, and I would like that. But I'll tell you, I know a sword swallower.
Oh boy.
My wife, am I right? You know what I'm talking about. God. All right. So circus act. We got a flamethrower and a tumbler. Lastly, what's a nickname someone has given you that you hate or felt suited you?
Well, the problem with saying any of that stuff is like
Exactly.
now it puts it out there.
Exactly. There's
So
only one nickname I don't like being called, and I don't even bother saying it. However, I used to have a teacher who he called me Billy, but like he was such a like great artist and like an authoritarian, like an authority on his subject that it seemed appropriate. Like usually only my family calls me Billy, but like he he would walk in and he kind of had a deep voice like this, and he would just be like, "You did a great job on that assignment, Billy." And it was like an old timey like 1950s like black and white television show. Like, well, that's a great job you did there, Billy. And I thought that was great.
not like Jim Carrey when he presses his nipple against the windshield and goes, "Oh,
Oh,
Billy."
Billy. Yeah, no, I don't mind being called Billy. It's just
That's
it's a
about.
little too. I think it's a little too familiar for some people.
Yeah, I just call you Bill. My stepdad was Billy.
Yeah, my grandfather was Billy, so it's sort of almost a more powerful name in my family. Like he was Big Bill, actually,
Big
is what they
Bill.
call him. Yeah, he wasn't that
Big
big.
Bill. He was. Sounds like my wife.
All right. So that's all we got from Dead Purple. Thank you for those questions. A lot of them were actually pretty entertaining. Okay, and then we got Forgotten Ghostly. So Forgotten Ghostly is asking us about $1 million. You get
Oh
$1 million,
no.
but here's the condition again.
Okay. Sure. Let's do it.
Um,
Is this where stuff gets weird now?
yeah. Yup. You get $1 million, but wait a second. Okay, so this one is actually its own standalone thing. So this one is you'd never have to pay for anything again. But the guy that does sucks his finger and then sticks it up your butt for 2 seconds.
What?
So the
What?
question they're asking is if you never had to pay for anything else in your life, but whoever does pay for it gets to stick a saliva lubricated finger up your butthole for 2 seconds, is that a deal that you would take?
Does the person want to do this? Like, I'm assuming every single person who pays for
Yeah.
something
Let's
wants
say
to do this.
it's a
This is.
mysterious benefactor, a man who's acquired many tastes throughout his life, and
Okay. Do we get to pick the finger? Is this like a petite man with small
no,
fingers?
it's an index finger. It's an
Oh.
index finger the same size of yours.
Hmm. Let's see. That's a big finger. Like, I don't know about that.
Here's the thing, and I feel like at some point past the age of what 35, I think it is, you got to
Uh,
start getting yearly exams that are exactly what we're describing here.
yeah, but like, is this something like every day? Like, every single purchase of an item means.
Let's say it's some guy who's local. He's in your
Okay.
town. He's around where you are a lot of the time, and you have a credit card that links to his bank account,
It's
or a
it
debit
it
card that links to his bank account.
it links to his goddamn index finger is what it links to.
Well, yeah, it's never. You can't deplete it. You can buy whatever you want, but whenever you use that card, you got to make 2 seconds out of your day to pull down your drawers and let this dude give you the old stinky pinky.
Does it? Does it have to be a dude? Like, can it be a hot chick?
You want a chick doing it?
Yeah, I feel more comfortable with a hot looking girl doing it.
Well, that makes one of us.
but everything. Like, you didn't have to worry about anything. Yeah, I'll do it.
Wow. All right.
If I didn't have any, if I had like an endless credit card.
So I think the plan would be as follows. You would get as many things as you can into one purchase. Right? Like you would have a good friend that would just have credit, and he would just buy all these things, and then he would sell them to you at an inflated price, like once a week. So once a week you'd have to have your take your punishment.
All right.
But your friend would be making money, and you'd be able to get whatever you wanted.
Like, if it's a female, she's hot, and preferably a doctor, like, just in case. There could be, you know, a double benefit of this. Like, you get a finger up there.
Milking is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that if they're a doctor, they can check. Like, yep, everything's fine. You're good to go.
I would say that as long as I can opt out of having them buy stuff for me, like I would want to go to the grocery store pretty frequently and buy things on my own. But then I would like a couple times a month, I'd be like, I gotta buy something like for thousands of dollars, you know?
Don't lie. You'll just get addicted to it, and then you'll be like, I don't want to buy anything. Can you just come over here and put your finger in my butt?
Well, here's what I would do. Is I would buy things that would allow me to make my own money. And that would, like, at the beginning, let's face it, there's just going to be a lot of
butt raping.
A lot of ins and a lot of outs happening.
There's going to be a lot of penetration.
Yeah. And that's how it's got to be. Like, that's what it takes to make it in today's competitive business world.
So, in other words, we're both willing to whore ourselves out to get to the right places in life.
You know, I was thinking that today, like, how many relationships I've been through where, you know, they were good and I loved being in them and I loved the people I was with, but something went wrong. And I was thinking to myself today,
oh my God.
I was like, I would almost rather.
Melody is in here.
Oh no. Hey.
Run, Melody, run.
Your father's a good man. Just trying to solve. You remember there was a question earlier about when is truth always the best option?
Well, you know, she's 14. She's gonna have to get over it. She knows what's up.
Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah, I'd rather someone just rented me for 3 years. Like, I would rather have, let's say, $500,000 a year, total access to me. I'd rather work 24 hours a day to be in a relationship with someone for $500,000 a year. Unless I could get a better deal.
Wait, where did relationship come from?
I'm just saying, like, whoring ourselves out. Like,
okay.
I feel like I'm wasting my time with relationships sometimes, and I should just be focusing on selling my entire life to someone 1 year at a time.
What would they do with it? Like, you were just selling your actual time?
I'd be selling myself a year at a time.
You would be like a 24-hour man whore.
I mean, I'd be a professional boyfriend.
Yeah, I could do that. I've thought about that.
Yeah.
Like, there's yeah.
But it's gotta be a good amount of money, and it's gotta have an end point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to just be like, well, give me $800 million and I'm in it for life, because then I don't get to leave. I don't ever get to enjoy my earnings, you know? And I'd probably have some other rules about, like, I'm not just going to jump into this and, like, be whatever,
I'd
you
want
know.
like my own recording studio, like super
Well,
fancy
yeah, you're
equipment.
thinking about spending the money before you've committed to really,
Yeah, well, see, that would be the focus point. Like that's all I could really think about. Like
yeah.
if you have to sell yourself, and then you got to plummet into you got to jump into bed with this woman that you're not attracted to at all. You got to start thinking about money so you can get things going. You know,
Yeah, and I
downside.
mean,
There's a
I don't know.
downside.
Yeah, like at this point, I feel like I've got a few years left where I'm going to have hair on my head, and I got to start thinking about my retirement.
You're not gonna lose your hair. You're
I am
30.
absolutely going to lose my hair.
No, you're not.
Going to happen.
It might be a little thinner, but you're not gonna lose it.
It's coming out one of
No.
these days.
You're
All right.
32 now. I think you would have lost it by now. How's your
No,
dad's?
you can
How's your
start
dad hair?
losing your 35ers.
I don't know.
Um,
I have a friend who started going bald at 18.
no, and I've seen that too, but I think it's more common to start losing it, as an older gentleman once you're in your
Are you gonna have
profession.
long hair?
Oh, if I'm going bald, no way. Once it's like really apparent, and I'm sure it's going to be gradual, so there will be a point where I'm the balding guy with a ponytail. But once it gets to the point where I can't look in the mirror without seeing my scalp every single time, then yeah, it all comes off. I think I just go full bald at that point. I'd rather wear like anime wigs every day
Yeah.
than
I saw a guy at the gym last week who had
yeah.
like the full on. He's completely bald up here, but just had this line of hair all the way around, and his hair was as long as mine and gray. I'm like, no, no, that just doesn't work.
Well, maybe he's married and he doesn't have to worry about his personal. Like his wife loves him, and she likes it like that, and that's fine. Um, Cassie, this is obviously what we talk about when girls are around. You're all sitting here watching us.
58 of you are watching,
Wow,
or
50.
maybe, yeah, or
Um,
maybe like 56. I know there's like one dude in here for sure.
oh yeah, Tim's in here at least.
Yeah, Tim's in
Probably a
here.
couple other.
There might be
Probably.
someone else.
Okay, next up. Um, you get $1 million, but you have to wear any any upper body garment is going to be 3 sizes too small.
It wouldn't fit.
You got to do it.
For what? What is this for? $1 million?
For $1 million, every shirt that you have to wear for the rest of your life is going to be 3 sizes too small.
Well, considering the majority of the materials a lot of the shirts are made out of, I would be dead by the end of the day from
I think you
suffocation.
just end up with like basically a halter top on.
No, it wouldn't. Nothing would fit unless it was like Under Armour and it's super stretchy.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna go with if I can only wear Under Armour, like anything else that I own, a lot of the cotton shirts or anything, if they're 3 sizes too small, it'd kill me or I would kill it. One of the two. It's gonna happen. My neck is too thick
Would you take that $1 million?
for to wear Under Armour shirts. Yeah, and I'd probably just wear a jacket over them.
It'd still be too small. The jacket would be too small as well.
God damn it!
All upper body garments would be too small.
What if I just
Basically,
wore...
your wrists would never be covered.
I would wear what are those things the Mexican people wear, the blanket thing with the
Poncho?
Poncho. I'll wear
All right,
a
you'd have a
poncho.
little tiny poncho on. That would be fine.
Sure. I'll just wear that. I'd be comfortable.
You'd be the weirdest millionaire.
Yeah. Well, how long is this for? Is this...
I guess for as long as you have the $1 million. Until you've spent that last dollar.
I could spend it in 2 days, maybe.
Yeah, seriously. Maybe there would be a time commitment. Would you take $1 million if you had to commit to it 5 years of that?
Jesus.
$200,000 a year.
You know, the thing is that I would, okay, fine, I would have $1 million and I would never get laid ever again. Never have a girlfriend.
Well, you could just not wear a shirt a lot more.
This is true. I'll just have to, like, go around shirtless all the time.
Yeah.
I'd do it. I'd do it. It'd be extremely inconvenient. Cosplay would be a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd do it.
Actually, I think my costume is already 3 times too small, so we're good on that.
Yeah. I'd be all right. I'd take $1 million for that. If it was for 3 years or whatever, or 5 years, I could handle that. I would do some good things with that money. Okay, next up. Here we go.
No. Okay, nobody send me a poncho. Seriously. I'm not going to wear it. You can send Melody a poncho. Nice pink one.
Okay, so this one's going to involve a little bit of imagination.
Oh, boy.
You would get $1 million, but you have a constant color changing 250-watt light dick.
I'm sorry, so where's the negative side here?
Yeah.
I get...
It's mine. It's the one... It's the one I currently have, but it lights up, I guess.
It lights up and it's multicolored, or is it one of those things where it's like rotating colors like the Tesseract does, where you can just have it fade into different colors?
It color changes, yeah, like the Tesseract.
Like yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome. God, and I'd get paid for that too? I'd do it for free.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like so few people, there's so few like little traffic in that area anyways, that doesn't, like, the people who would allow that to be seen regardless of its light upness would be fine with it lighting up.
Oh, yes, it should have not an equalizer. Yeah, make it like a equalizer so it'll go to the beat of the music.
Yeah.
You could be the star of every party. You just drop your pants, pull it out, and the music is going, and you're just strobing away.
Yeah, and I think it would create some really interesting biological effects, too.
Yeah.
I think we could make some interesting scientific discoveries. So, I you know, that's fine. I would definitely take $1 million. If it's lifelong, though,
I'd still be okay with that.
Do you think it would die? Do you think it would stop being light up when you die?
No, I don't.
So, like, you'd be in your casket, and it would still be lit up.
Yeah, they would have to bury me with that thing going. Like, my funeral would just be a disco party of my penis.
Yeah,
light up.
Perfect.
It'd be awesome. Best funeral ever.
Candace, it changes color all the time, not just when the beat drops. Okay. Number 4. You'll have $1 million, but any object that you forget will be gone forever.
Well,
so if you
forget, like if you just not think about it for a moment.
Oh, see, I was thinking of it as if you leave the house without your car keys and your phone, now you have to buy a new car key and phone.
That $1 million would be gone real quick.
Yeah. I feel like this one is more existential. It's more philosophical. The forgetting, because I'm very forgetful sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, what if you forgot another human being?
Yeah, like what if you forgot, like, your kid at some point? You just left them behind for, like, you get ready to go on a trip, a road trip, you get all the kids in the car, you back out of the driveway, look behind you, you realize you've only got 3 of the 4 kids. That kid's gone forever.
Yep.
All right, I don't like this one. This one's got too many implications. I'm going to pass up on that $1 million.
Yeah, I'll pass on that one too. Jesus,
Yeah.
I'd have no kids right now. I'm kidding.
Let's see. You have $1 million, but any object you use says what it is constantly. So right now, like your microphone would be going microphone, 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 and your headphones would be going headphones, headphones, headphone, and your laptop would be like laptop, 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 and my cat.
Nope. I can't even.
And my cat would be like, pretty good, pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm a pretty good cat. Pretty good.
I'm a cat, bitch.
She is. Answer your daughter.
What is the question?
Guess what?
What? Oh, Jesus. Melody? Just say what you want to say.
It's gonna take her a second to figure that
I
one out.
know, because now it's gonna like take 30 seconds for us to.
Is Danny here too?
I got a new kitty. Okay, that is fantastic. I think I've seen your new cat. Is that the one you've been posting on Instagram? You got too many animals. It's time to get rid of some of those.
Well, time to find responsible homes for them. Yeah. So what do you think? $1 million, but you're constantly surrounded by objects that are saying what they are.
So basically, I would be surrounded by more children. No, I couldn't do that.
You'd be surrounded by Pokemon, really. Just things that
but
are
at
like.
least you can put them away in a Pokeball and not listen to them.
Yeah, and the Pokeball would be like Pokeball, Pokeball, Pokeball.
And then I could just throw that in the freaking freezer.
Hey, do me a favor. Can you ban Loki Thor before they get out of control? Because they're just turning into a dick already. Loki Thor.
Oh, crap. Where'd it go?
It's the one with the blue icon.
I lost it.
They should be near the bottom of the.
Oh, I lost the thing. Hold on. There we go.
Okay, so yeah, I don't think that'd be worth $1 million because if I had to sleep in a bed that was constantly saying bed, I think I would end up going insane. Let's see. Number 6. Every birthday, you have to watch from a different angle your conception. So every day on your birthday, you have to get a different angle on watching your parents back in 1982 doing it.
What? Is this for $1 million?
This is for $1 million, yeah. But every birthday.
So does that mean I get $1 million every birthday?
No. You get $1 million, one lump sum, and then every birthday from there on out, you have to spend a certain amount of time watching it happen.
I can't do that. I could not scrub that from my mind, and I would be mortified. That'd be horrible.
I'd do it.
You're a sick bastard.
I'd give the $1 million, half of that would be going to my parents. Whatever. They were having a good time.
I can't do it. No way.
They were just doing what they did, Got me here. Anyways, okay, next one. Your mom's actually here right now.
I know she is.
And
And my daughter, so, that's
perfect. Number 7, this is the last one from Forgotten Ghostly. For $1 million, wherever you go for 1 year, a muscle dude in pose wear pushes you in a stroller. So let's assume that means a bodybuilder in a Speedo, like a silky little blue Speedo that just cut it's a banana hammock, has to push you around in a stroller. You're not allowed to walk on your own for a year, but you get $1 million.
I'm never allowed to walk on my own for a year?
Wherever you go, a bodybuilder in a banana hammock has to push you in a stroller.
I would feel like I would lose all the muscles in my legs. Like, what's going to happen after a year?
You're fine. You go back to normal life. I mean, you could exercise. You could have a machine to exercise on,
So I
but
can,
as soon
like,
as you get off
still.
that machine, you have to get back in the stroller.
I mean, if I could still go running and go to the gym and work out and all that stuff,
You
yeah, I'd
could
do it.
run on a treadmill, but you can't run
Oh, God.
running. You can't actually run.
Dates would be awkward. It's for $1,000,000.
Yeah, I would take it. I would spend a year in a stroller. Um, I would do that.
Yeah.
No problem.
Well, I wouldn't
I'm sure
necessarily
I'd
have
be.
no
I'm
problem.
sure I'd be sick of it by the time that came around. But
I feel like this is supposed to be like more embarrassing, but I'm thinking just more of a hassle it would be in life itself than any type of embarrassment.
yeah,
I think I'd do it. I'd probably do it.
yeah, I would do that too. The last one, Captain Jack fan, who also may be Forgotten Ghostly on Tumblr. No one knows. You get $1,000,000, but you have to date Hitler for a year and hold his hand at his deathbed at the end of the year.
Wow, we
So
need some definition.
yeah, here's the problem with that one is that I would have to live a year in what 1945, from like 1944 to 1945. I would have to be Ava Braun.
Yeah. How's that feel?
I don't know. I mean, like
I'm gonna pass
honestly,
on that one.
there's a lot of shitty people to date, and Hitler is definitely at the top of the list. But if a year before his death, you're also looking at dating Hitler when he's one of the most powerful people on the planet, if not the most powerful person, hands down. So basically, you would spend a year living like the queen of the world, and you would just have to be in the presence of this awful person. I don't think I'd take the $1,000,000 for that. You know, that's betraying my morals and stuff on a couple of different levels. I don't think I would do it for Donald Trump either. Like, there's a lot of shitty people who I would never want to spend a year with in a romantic situation.
Or a year with in any situation. He'd be one of them.
Somebody asked, is there anything I wouldn't do for $1,000,000? There's plenty of things I wouldn't do for $1,000,000.
We've went through this whole questionnaire last week, and
Yeah.
we turned down pretty much everything.
I think we turned down 3 out of 7. So we turned down almost half of them.
We turned down more than half of them. I don't
Yeah.
remember. I don't know. Watched last week's, and
I think we each made $4,000,000 out of the $7,000,000 offered.
yeah, I think we agreed on the same things on each one.
Yeah. Cassie Swenson asks, I have anger issues. How do you deal with confrontation or rude people?
Walk away. I usually don't deal with it. I'll just leave the situation.
Yeah, it depends on the type of confrontation. I mean, typically I'll try to talk it out. Like, I always feel a big sense of accomplishment whenever I'm like, hey, we don't have to be fighting right now. Like, we don't even have to be doing this right now. Because I'm not after anything different than what you're after. And if I can get someone to agree with me on that, then, like, I feel like that's a big win. Where it's just like somebody's being weird and crazy, and you're just like, why don't we just friggin' do this like professionals or whatever, people who are sharing a planet together. So I'll do that every once in a while, but you're right. For the most part, I'll just ignore people if they're being crazy. Remember one time I was coming to my apartment, and there were these dudes that were like just really grilling me hard. Just two dudes walking down the street acting like assholes, and I was like, trying to get into my apartment, and they just like saying shit as they walked up, and I was just like, all right, whatever. Because last thing I want to do is like start a fight with two dudes who like starting fights.
Yeah.
So I stayed away from that. Steven, do you want Tim to send you more dice games?
Dice games. I like dice games. Sure.
Tim, I think we're both open to whatever you want to send. Feel free to send it, and we'll parse it out and divvy it up. I'm actually having a game night tomorrow. I'm hoping to play Bang, or House on Betrayal at House on the Hill. I tried Voluspa. It was super fun. And I know I've played Smash Up, but I haven't played Munchkin Smash Up yet. So tomorrow night I'm hoping to get a couple of those under my belt. Rooster Teeth. I don't know who Rooster Teeth is. Oh, all the questions are from Rooster Teeth. That's a podcast. I get it. So it is Captain Jack who's asking all the $1 million questions. So yeah, Cassie, essentially we're saying turn the other cheek. If you want advice on how to deal with confrontational people, talk it out. Don't let people start fights with you. That's not going to help anybody out. We've got 8 minutes and like 3 more questions. Lego Puzzle asks, what do you prefer to do when you're sick?
Not be sick. I hate being sick. It doesn't, I don't know. I can't think of anything I like doing while sick because I'm miserable and hate everything.
Right.
And don't want to do anything but not be sick.
I just sleep and try to drink as much water and eat soup. Now I'm thinking cold flu sick.
Ugh.
If it's stomach sick, I want to die. Like, there's no feeling better from stomach sick stuff. So that's a different case. Okay. Next up, Cassie Swenson asks, "What's on your bucket list? What do you want to do before you die?"
I think we've been asked this before. And I always get to have the answer, I don't have a bucket list.
Yeah, nor do I. Honestly, if I die tomorrow, I'm not going to have too many regrets. So keep that in mind. So bucket list is to never give up my compromise my morals. That's on my bucket list. Mariana DiChiara asks, David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar from Van Halen? Which do you prefer?
That's a weird one. I don't know.
I actually, this is going to go against the grain with a lot of people. I like Sammy Hagar better. I'd rather listen to I Can't Drive 55 right now. I cannot stand David Lee Roth and his little squeaky noises. Just doesn't sit well with me. Let's see here. Next up, Selena asks for board game recommendations.
I think you'd be the one to answer that.
Yeah, definitely. If you have a friend who owns Zombicide or a game store nearby that has an open copy of it, try and get someone to teach you to play Zombicide. I was just saying to Tim that Voluspa was really fun the first time we even cracked it open. And Smash Up is also a lot of fun. Give it a shot. Tim asks, what?
Excuse me, there is a message for you.
Tim asks, Melody, are you a comic reader like Logan? Okay. You broadcast every night. Tammy, we don't broadcast together every night, but usually one of us is usually broadcasting on any given night.
You practically broadcast every night.
I do typically broadcast once a day.
I think
Melody,
I'm going to broadcast more, though.
Well, there you go. You do a lot more streaming than me, though.
Yeah, I think I'll probably do Periscope and then just rip that footage and then post that. I like using Periscope and doing the unboxings and stuff with that.
Okay. Melody asks, video game recommendations.
I feel like this is a trap. Like, I'm going to recommend video games, and she's going to be like, okay, buy me those video games. No. The answer is no. Actually, I have quite a few video games for you, Melody. I got some stuff right here. All this stuff.
Oh, look at all that stuff. Assassin's Creed.
All PS4. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Lego Jurassic World.
Oh, that's cool.
Minecraft, Story Mode, Transformers Devastation. And then there's some weird ones like Tesla Grad.
It's probably a racing game. Car racing.
The Jackbox Party Pack. I think probably nobody. It's just like this one where, I don't know, probably test your knowledge a little bit.
Maybe.
And this weird one with the hole right in the lady's crotch. That's some great stuff right there. I mean, they had to have known.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Yeah, I don't know. And Dragon Quest Heroes. And then, what else do I got over here? One Piece? Pirate Warriors 3?
Oh, cool. One Piece is fun.
Yeah. And then I actually have Final Fantasy Online with all the expansions, but it's for the PS3, and there's like a monthly charge for that, so I don't see myself being able to play that. I don't think I can dedicate myself that much to a video game where I'd be willing to pay a monthly fee for it. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
What? Paying a monthly fee?
Yeah, like to have a video game where you have to pay monthly.
I won't do it. Hands down, I won't do it.
Yeah, it seems kind of ridiculous to me.
No, there's no reason. There's no reason to do that. I mean, World of Warcraft, I'm sure that Blizzard puts a lot of work into keeping that up and stuff, but it's not nearly the amount of money that people put in. Like, they're making hundreds of millions of dollars a year on that bullshit, and that's crazy.
Just the subscription base of it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting money for nothing. Like, they're getting money for doing updates that they would have had to do anyways, even if they didn't have a monthly subscription.
But yeah, and then you purchase the game, so you have to buy the game, and then you're already paying for online services. Like, you pay for internet, and then if you have this, which is on the PS4, so you're paying for the PSN Plus network, so you're paying for online already, and then on top of that to add a third online paying, it's way too much money.
Yeah, no, that's why I do PC gaming. I get all my games on Steam for like 80% off or whatever, and then I play for free. You know, I play with the internet that I'm already paying with for. If I was going to recommend a game, if you're playing PC games, I'm going to recommend Portal 2 and Wolfenstein: The New Order was awesome. What else was fun? Left 4 Dead 2 is always fun. Team Fortress is always fun. Yeah. So, all that stuff. Check it out.
What, the Star Wars Battlefront, $60 and then $45 for the pass? What's the pass? You know anything about that?
$60, probably an annual pass. So $60 gets you, or $45 gets you what?
I don't know. I mean, I like how...
the pass might be one of those things where you get all the DLC in a year. Like, instead of paying $2.99 for every new DLC that comes out, you pay $45 for the year, and they give you everything.
Oh. Oh, expansions. Okay. Yeah, man. Anyway, they can nickel and dime you.
Yeah.
It gets crazy.
Cassie Swenson wants to know, what are your pet peeves and how do you calm yourself down?
Cassie, now, is she the same one asking about the anger management thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Pet peeves usually don't, like, I don't get angry. Like, I have pet peeves about, I don't know if those are pet peeves or like an OCD thing. Like open things, like cupboards. That's not a pet peeve. That would be more OCD, huh? I can't stand like open drawers and
cupboards. If other people are doing it, if other people are consistently like leaving things open, I think that could be a pet peeve.
You do it. You leave the left cupboard open over
the sink. It won't close. It literally doesn't have the mechanism to close.
Oh, I keep trying to close it anyways, so.
Yeah.
But that's, I don't know. It just kind of, I like things to be closed. And usually, like, if I put stuff away in the cupboards or the fridge or anything, you'll know that I put it away because the label is always facing out. Even my shampoo bottles, the label is facing forward. Everything's facing forward.
Okay. Cassie, I will not be trying Oculus Rift. I'm not that big of a fan of virtual reality gaming. And after working in stereo for 5 years, I've had quite enough of three-dimensional experiences. Kat, yes, I did finish Wolfenstein. It was dope. And pet peeves are when people don't clue in to the social cues I'm trying to give them. Not leaving me alone is a big pet peeve. And complaining needlessly is a big pet peeve, where people think that they're just letting off steam and it's harmless, and it's like, no, but you're not letting off steam. You're actually like talking shit about people, gossiping, and trying to get sympathy from somewhere where it shouldn't be coming from.
Yeah, that agitates me.
Yeah,
that can get to me.
Lately.
So have I. Yeah, one of them would probably be being trapped on a phone. Like, I'll be in a conversation and I need to go, and it's just like there's no ending point where you can get off the phone.
Right.
So, in some cases, I hang up. Like, you know, it's like, okay, I gotta go, and then they keep going, and then I'm like, I gotta go, and they keep going. I'm like, okay. Click.
Yeah, you gotta shut that down.
That's the only way I could deal with it sometimes, so I don't like freak out on them.
Yeah. If you could have a pet, would you choose a dragon, a sphinx, or a magic sprite?
A dragon would be cool, but that would be a large animal. Maybe a sprite? Like, a sprite is a fairy, right?
Yeah, it's like basically a Navi.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be okay. Like small pets.
Yeah, I think I'd go with the sprite myself. Sphinxes seem a little temperamental. Dragons are probably a major liability as far as fire codes go. Sphinx, a pixie, I feel like I could have in my house, and they probably get a little irritating from time to time, but, you know, be around, probably cause a little mischief, but hopefully nothing too serious. Melody, I keep my cat calm. I don't keep my cat calm. She's blind, so she can't be crazy, or else she'll hurt herself, and she knows that. If she runs around too much, she bumps into things. So that's how she stays calm. What else do we got? Okay, last one. Monet asks, any advice to keep calm during high anxiety situations? I'm having exploratory surgery tomorrow, and I'm terrified.
Oh.
So I guess we never really addressed the last part of the anger question from Cassie either. If you need to be calm, honestly, and this is going to sound like a shitty solution, but it kind of works, is to keep in mind that you can't change anything. Like, being helpless is oftentimes, for me, the best solution to anxiety situations, where you just have to let go of the anxiety and be like, well, you know what? If this is going to hurt a lot, then I'm just going to have to be in pain for a while. And if this is going to affect me in some way, I'm just going to have to live like that until I can solve my way out of it. And, you know, if you've been through worse, then you can get through this too.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go through that, but I've had to deal with the whole dental stuff, which was not fun. I had a lot of anxiety about that, and you know my situation about getting on the plane, since you were there with me, that I had a lot of anxiety about the plane ride, and it's basically one of those things where I was unable to do anything about the situation. I had no choice. It has to be done. So the only thing I can do is just be calm about it. There's no point in fearing something you can't stop from happening.
Yeah, and I mean, in a situation like surgery, think about all the things you do in your day. You eat food that could have salmonella in it. That could kill you, with probably the same likelihood as being killed in surgery. You get in a car where, you know, a train or a big truck could kill you. Like, that's got a pretty high likelihood of killing you. So, like, your surgery is not going to kill you. Just walk in there knowing that. You're going to feel like shit for a couple of days afterwards, but you're going to have pain medication. And it's working. It's something done to work towards you feeling better. And you have to focus on the goal. And, like, I don't know how to deal with anxiety. There's probably some exercises you can do, but really, there's no good way around it other than to accept reality. Reality is you got to do the surgery. Or bring a friend, and your friend will slap some sense into you a little bit. That's how we got the plane thing done.
You're doing this. You're gonna sit down, and we're doing this.
Yeah. So that's my only input to give you.
Yeah, when you have Bill as a drill sergeant.
Yeah. When you got.
We'll send Bill with you.
When you got Bill not wanting to go across the country for a con that we both committed to completely on my own, I get pretty motivated about stuff. All right, but it is now 10 minutes past 7.
It is. Wow, look at that.
And I am going to go make dinner. And that'll be cool. So I hope everybody has a good night. And we will see you next Thursday.
At 12 o'clock. At noon. Pacific
At
Standard
noon
Time.
and 6.
Yeah. You know when it is.
Same Thursday time. Same Thursday
place. Or channel. Whatever. Okay. So, we're saying goodbye?
Yep.
Okay, bye. Goodbye.